Welcome to 22 Sounds weekly look at the new vinyl release highlights. I'm Manu, co-owner of 22 Sound, the independent record store in Mandeville, Louisiana. And just like every week, I scoured the new release calendar, and in this video I'm bringing you what I think are the highlights of vinyl release week, October 20th, 2023. And of course you can pre-order all of these records straight through us on our website, 22soundrecords.com. That would be great if you did that, so you know what to do right after you've finished watching this video. All right, let's get right into it. We're starting with a really highly anticipated album. Blink-182 is back with its not original lineup, but I guess the classic lineup to many people. This is their big reunion record. One More Time is the name of it, and yeah, I gotta say, kind of surprised, or wouldn't have probably anticipated 25 years ago that in 2023 a Blink-182 record has that much excitement surrounding it. But yeah, they're really kind of grown into the elder statesman status in pop punk, and they're actually still appealing to a lot of current teenagers. It's not just a nostalgia act. Yeah, like I said, I'm pretty surprised about that. Curious to see what they're gonna do, if it's kind of a back to the roots type record, or if they're gonna explore new sonic worlds. We'll see. I gotta admit, the last album, tried to listen to it, didn't make it all the way to the end. Life is too short, but hope it's gonna be much better. All right, next one is Lil Uzi Vert. Pink Tape came out on digital platforms and so on a few months or so ago, I think in August maybe. Not exactly sure, but here's the vinyl release. There's an indie exclusive version of that as well. Really big deal, this guy. So this is a very big record for sure. I think a lot of people looking forward to the vinyl release of that one. Then we have Within Temptation. Bleed Out is their brand new record. We have Point North releasing Prepare for Despair. We have Myrkur, I think that's how we pronounce it, not sure, Danish one-woman black metal project. Got quite a bit of hype, you know, in relations to the metal world, of course, but yeah, in the metal world, definitely one of the rising stars. She's releasing a brand new album called Spine, right on time for the colder and darker months of the year. Gotta say, that's definitely the time of the year that I tend to listen to more black metal too. It's just, there's something about it. It just doesn't have the same effect on a hot summer day in July. So looking forward to getting some nice black metal coming our way. Next up is Rival Sons. They're releasing a brand new album called Lightbringer. And then we have Duff McKagan of Guns N' Roses fame with another solo album. Lighthouse is the name of it. I really liked his last one, actually. A bit of a surprise to me. Wasn't at all like Guns N' Roses. More of a tender record. I think it was called Tenderness. Yeah, very on the nose, but really good record, really good songwriting. I always loved his voice, I gotta say. That kind of, you know, dirty, raspy voice works really well on those kind of songs that he had on the last album. So I'm curious if it's kind of a continuation of that, or maybe more of like the more rocking stuff from his earlier solo projects or outside of Guns N' Roses projects. Then we have Dethklok, the band from the Adult Swim series. What is it called? Metalocalypse, I think, if I remember correctly. Actually, never seen the show, to be honest with you. But hey, they are. I noticed they had like a weirdly big influence, I think, on some people growing up at the time, kind of getting them into metal. I've heard several people mention that was kind of their introduction to metal, or the more extreme versions of metal, and it's actually kind of cool. So they're coming out with Dethalbum IV. Great album title too. And then we have a name that, yeah, couldn't be much bigger at all in music historical terms. The Rolling Stones, if you haven't heard yet, actually releasing a brand new album. I think it's the first album in new music since 2005, almost 20 years. Hackney Diamonds, so still at it. It's impressive, I gotta say. Brand new Rolling Stones album. And then we also have some cool reissues coming out this week. We have Tyler the Creator reissuing Wolf. I haven't seen that on vinyl in a while. That's definitely going to be a big one here. Tyler the Creator would say one of the biggest, if not the biggest seller for us in the hip hop world, in our neck of the woods. An absolute megastar. So I'm sure a lot of people are really looking forward to finally getting that one on vinyl. Then we have Katy Perry reissuing several of her albums, Teenage Dream, Prism, and One of the Boys. I think I got them all. Then a band a little bit more undergroundy, Harakiri For The Sky. I believe they're from Austria, if I remember that correctly. They're reissuing their third album, Trauma, which I can highly recommend to those of you who like black metal, but like the kind of more atmospheric, kind of sad, melodic type of black metal. Very, very, very great guitar melodies on this album. I think that's really the part that really stands out to me, really creating this great, cold, wintry atmosphere on there. It's one of those records where you can really kind of get lost in. Really, really like this. So yeah, if you don't know them yet, but that's the kind of music you like, definitely check them out. I can definitely recommend them. Then we have Liz Phair reissuing her big record, or probably the biggest record of her career, I would say, Exile in Guyville. That was hugely influential in the early 90s. And then we have Chvrches, 10th anniversary of their debut album, Bones of What You Believe. And last but definitely not least, we have Darkthrone reissuing Under a Funeral Moon. That's the 30th anniversary of this album, which is definitely one of those absolute black metal classics. One of those albums that kind of, among some other records, of course, kind of set the template of what we now think of as like the classic black metal sound, that second wave black metal sound. That's really kind of when, in my opinion, they really got into their own. I mean, of course, A Blaze in the Northern Sky was already kind of their foray into black metal. There's still some death metal, little death metal traces to be found. I found like here is really when they absolutely went for that new sound that they really became famous for. Of course, in the meantime, they've done many different things. But yeah, Under a Funeral Moon, big classic. Haven't seen that on vinyl in a while, so cool that there's gonna be a nice reissue for that one. All right, as I said in the beginning, these are of course just the highlights, are the ones that stood out to me. Check out our website, 22soundrecords.com. There's much more, and of course you can order stuff that's already out. We have tens of thousands of titles on that website there, so if you want to support our store, come visit, or if you're too far away, yeah, check out our website. Really appreciate that. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We want to keep you updated on what's new on a regular basis, and of course talk about music in whatever form we think of that week. Really appreciate you watching this. Thank you for your support. See you soon.